record this one, and then we're going to live stream it to YouTube, and then we'll start. I'm going to leave to Facebook. I'm just trying to live stream it to Facebook, go live. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to. You ready, you all?
Yes, Dr. Nik.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and today we are going to be talking about Be the Match. If you all can mute your mics, right? We're going to be talking about Be the Match, and that is particularly related to leukemia and bone marrow transplant. My special guest is Gayatri Kapoor, who has been involved with the Gulf Coast Regional Blood Center in the donor program, who has been recruiting volunteers for as long as I know. I would like to introduce Gayatri Kapoor, and she has a couple of other guests, one of whom has donated the bone marrow, and the other one who has been the recipient or a family member who has been the recipient of a bone marrow transplant. So we're going to cover a lot of topics about why it is important for people to register for bone marrow screening and transplant if it is necessary. I'll start off by just sharing a PowerPoint presentation, and maybe you all can introduce yourself first. Gayatri.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Nik, for inviting us again. We have done several sessions, and we are very thankful for all the support you've been providing. So, Be the Match is a national organization that helps blood cancer and blood disorder patients find matching donor for their life-saving transplant. For We have almost 22 million donors on the donor registry, and 100 many uh, many from these donors have donated their bone marrow, and many lives have been saved.
Oh, that's fascinating. So, Kiran, maybe you can tell a little bit about yourself and briefly, and then we'll begin with the program, and then you all can share your views. I'm just basically moderating this program. Go ahead. I think you're muted. Can you unmute?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Nik. I
Sure.
am Kiran Kara, and I'm over here in Houston. And thank you, Gayatri, for putting this together. And I really appreciate her efforts in raising awareness. My son received a transplant in 2018. So I have a 16. Well, I had at that point he was 16, but he's now 18, and he received a transplant. And I cannot thank enough to the donor who actually put a thought into it. And it's really important, particularly in our Indian community, I believe, because there is no awareness, and that is why we are not involved as much. And we do not have as many participants who can volunteer and become a part of Be the Match. But for over here on this end, where being a recipient, I know how important and crucial that is. And I really supported Gayatri, and it was because of one of the donors who put a thought into becoming a part of the registry that my son is now a healthy 18-year-old who just started his college, and he's pursuing his engineering degree. And I am very fortunate to be a part of Gayatri's team. I'm glad she recruited me into this team. And Gayatri, I'm here to support you, and let me know if there is anything else we can do. But I do want to kind of raise awareness, particularly in our Sikh community, Punjabi community, because we do not have enough people. We do not have enough donors, and we want people to become a part of the registry. I think this is one of the easiest way to serve mankind.
That's
Thank you.
fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing your initial thoughts. And let's hear from Rita, and then we will bring up some PowerPoints, and then we will continue with the discussion as to why it is important to register for bone marrow screening and why it is vital to be a donor if you are a perfect match. Rita ji, go ahead, please.
Hello, Mr. Dr. Nik, thank you so much. I am a volunteer and I didn't know much about it, but Gayatri educated us at RSM, one of our temples, and I registered it about 10 years back and then had an opportunity to be a matched donor last year.
Oh, that's fascinating. Just hold on a second. Let me start a little PowerPoint I have here, and then we can continue our discussions. And this is taken from the website Be the Match. And this is where we are increasing your awareness to join the registry so that you could possibly save someone else's life. If you all can mute your mic for a second, please. And there are a lot of things on this website. I would let Gayatri take over and explain some of the steps that are involved in registering for a bone marrow and why it is important to register for bone marrow screening and why people need bone marrow transplant to begin with. Gayatri, go ahead. Hello? Hello? Gayatri?
Hello. Yes. So once again, I will start with Kiran. Like when Kiran's son was diagnosed and needed the transplant, so the doctor looked for the donor in the National Donor Data Registry.
Yeah.
A donor was found, and the Be the Match facilitated the donation, and that's how her son received the transplant. But how we got the donor, that is the first thing. So Be the Match maintains the database of millions of people who are willing to donate. So all the people who register, they stay on the registry starting from age 18. People are eligible to get tested. There is a simple cheek swab test like this one over says. And with that, donors can join the donor registry and they are eligible to stay on the registry until they turn 61. So on the 18th birthday, now a lot of young donors are signing up, so they have a longer time to stay on the registry. Once someone join the donor registry, become part of the donor database, and when someone matches, they get the opportunity to donate. Everyone who gives their sample doesn't get to donate. Like Rita just said that she joined this donor registry almost 10 years back. And last year in September, she got the opportunity to donate. And it's been 1 year since she donated. So after the donation, usually we share the information after 1 year of the donation with the donor and the recipient. But at the time of uh, the match, donor does not get to know who is the patient, and the patient does not get to know who is the donor. So all those that information stayed confidential, and that's from how we maintain the database and people go for the donation, and on the other side people get to receive the transplant, and the transplant is from the matching donors only. So Be the Match start that the matching process from there.
That's fascinating. Rita ji, maybe you can explain what you experience or your family member experience in terms of being tested for the match and the whole process of donating the bone marrow. And Gayatri can explain it in some medical terms.
Yes, we registered all of us. I think four of us: my son, my daughter, and my husband, and myself. And well, we just registered. We didn't know when is going to be time or when it's going to be needed. So last year in about June, I got a call and said, "You are a match." And I was a little hesitant.
Yes.
But my daughter is the one. She was very excited, and she says, "Mom, you got an opportunity to save a life. You should go for it." And well, we had questions, and we went back and forth with Miss Gayatri and asked her what is after effects, what's going to be happening, because I'm 50 plus. So they had concerns, and as she explained it very well, and then uh, we talked to another uh, person who was coordinating this whole process, and she was very much open to explain everything. And I didn't hesitate after I talked to both of them, and we just went for it. And it was not uh, anything that I would hesitate again. And I would tell everybody that this is something that we should all register and we should all go for it. And it can save a life, and your life goes on normally. It does not affect your health issues. You don't get any health issues or side effects from that. So I'm really happy that I got an opportunity.
Okay, that's very good. And explain to us what actually happened once you were selected to.
I had to go through a series of blood tests.
Yes.
Maybe 4 times, I think I went in for blood tests and blood samples, and the medical history they wanted to know, and every uh, that's what the main process was. And that I think after that was the process when they actually found out that you are 100% match.
Mhm.
Mm,
So what did they do? Did they take blood or did they do like a bone marrow aspiration or what exactly
They
did
did
they do?
blood.
They
They,
did blood. How long did it take?
it didn't take more than maybe 10 minutes.
I see. That's pretty good. Kiran, maybe I'm sure you were there with your son all along, and maybe tell us your experience about, what was going through and what you experienced when he was receiving the bone marrow transplant.
It was transformational. I mean, I did not know what the whole transplant process was going to be. I was really scared, but it was so simple. They just had a huge bag of stem cells, and and he had to be prepped before that. It was not an easy process, but just the fact that he got a match was a blessing. And then he was constantly being monitored during the process, and it took a few hours. And then once the transplant took place, it's almost like I'd say about within 4 weeks is when the doctors on 19th of September 2018 was when they said that okay, he has a second birthday. So it was 100% success. It was an amazing experience, and I cannot thank enough to the donor. Sometimes it's just a thought, and we do it casually, but it's a huge deal for the recipient, because at that time their life and death depends on it. It's
Yes.
very, very crucial. And that is why I've been through it. My family has been through it. We know what other families experience. It's just a simple thing. It's a simple thing that we can do can make a huge impact in someone's life. And so we shouldn't, it's a very casual process, but we should not think it very casually. It's really serious and something that we really need to consider and talk to every single person that we know to become a part of the registry. That's the kind of impact it can make.
That's fascinating. So it's been what, a year now since he received the transplant?
2 years. It's
2
been two
years.
years.
So
2 years. Yes.
are his blood counts back to normal? And what about
He's just like you and me. He's just like
that's
you and me.
great.
It's amazing. He has a different blood group. He is Gayatri knows him. She's seen him. He's become a more of a wonderful person, I should say. I mean, he's doing really well in school. He graduated on time. He missed a year and a half of school. He's still graduated summa cum laude. He is in the engineering program. He's taken a full semester, 15 credits, and he's doing amazing. And that's why it's such a blessing. That's why it's such a blessing.
That's fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen,
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
That's great. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Be the Match, and that is, we are asking all of you who are watching this presentation to register yourself, and Gayatri is going to explain to you how to register. It is a very simple process, and if you're the match, you are going to be giving a gift of life to someone else by just giving a little blood transfusion or a blood donation. Millions of people donate blood all over the world, and it is as simple as that. And obviously, the next question is: are there any risks?
Yes, people are concerned about risks, but it is not as painful as people think, or the recovery is not that much that.
If the other people can mute your mic who is not speaking, so we won't get the echo. Okay, go ahead.
Like Rita J mentioned that she donated, and her daughter gave her company when she came for donation, and the whole procedure was like the blood was withdrawn from her arm, and from there the blood stem cells were collected, and the rest of the blood components were returned back to her from the other arm. She did spend few hours in the at the blood center, and her daughter gave her company. They chatted, they watched few movies. That's what I remember. And in fact, after her donation, within 2 days, she recovered so well. And I believe she went to India to visit her mother also. Right, Rizaji?
Okay.
My donation was on 3rd, and it finished on 4th because I think they needed more cells, so we came back.
Yeah.
So I flew on 7th.
Okay, that's fascinating. So maybe the next step is, Gayatri, you can talk about registration. How are things going as far as registration is concerned in this COVID era, where people are afraid to leave the house, and now with the second wave just spiraling out of control? Tell us about your challenges of getting people to register, and how can people register, those who are watching this particular video, which is going to be on Facebook and also on YouTube.
So just like anything else, we have shifted online. So we are doing the office work or any shopping or anything online rather than going to the malls or the store. We are able to manage the things online. The same way over here, we have a different platform for donors. They have the facility to register online. So what they need to do is they basically need to give their cheek swab samples, just like it shows on the screen over here. So for that, they can order this kit online on their laptops, on their phone. They can order this kit. We are going to put the link so they can click over there and they can register. If somebody is watching now and want to register, simple thing is text CURE to 61474. Once you do that, you will get a link, and click on that link and fill up the form online. It is completely free for the people between the age of 18 and 44. You do the form, and within 7 days, you will receive a kit at your home. It comes in the sealed envelope. You take that out, swab your cheeks, and put it in a mailbox. It comes with the envelope that is already addressed and stamped. So you don't need to worry about putting the stamp on going to the post office. In your neighborhood area, wherever you have the outgoing mailbox. You can put it in that, and from there it comes to our lab where we test those, so people do not need to worry about the COVID while they are registering. uh, so it does take few weeks once the samples come to the lab to get tested. It takes around 4 weeks. And once we have the results, we do get back to the donors. We inform them that we have the samples, uh, the test results, and now they are part of the registry. From there, they become part of the donor database. Anywhere in the world, if someone matches, they get the eligibility to donate. Suppose we have a listener who signed up today, and maybe somebody is watching us from New York, just
Mhm.
saying it, where we are seeing more cases and all that. Still, it is simple because through the phone, they can sign up, get the kit at home. And once we have the result, maybe after uh, 4 weeks or 6 weeks, once we have the results, if suppose they come, he or she comes up as a match. So this person will go for the medical evaluation first. After going through the medical evaluation, and then get the opportunity to donate. Probably by the time COVID will be over, but even then, if it is not over, we are taking all the precautions that are necessary to make this donation safe, and donors get to go to donation center and give their donation. And we have special arrangements for those donated cells to take to the patient. The patient and the donor doesn't have to be at one place. Patient can be in Houston and the donor can be in New York or California or India or UK.
Mhm.
The donor will get to donate wherever the donor lives, and we have a system to bring those cells to where the patient is
Yeah,
in
I see.
Houston. And that system is very well planned, very good working, even during the COVID, uh, when it was announced that all the international flights will be canceled. We have such a great system that not even one transplant got delayed. We were able to arrange everything on time.
That's
So that
fascinating.
system is very well placed.
Yeah.
All we need is more donors in the registry, because one in hundreds match. That is one thing. And secondly, patients have a better chance to match someone who shares their own ethnicity. Means our Desi, our South Asian patients can get cured after receiving cells from the Desi donors only.
Mm.
That's the reason we need to increase more awareness in our South Asian community. Be the mesh that has the database of 22 million, majority of in this database are Caucasians. So when we have a Caucasian patients, it becomes comparatively easier to find a matching donor. When we have Indian patient, these patients struggles more because we have less data, less database to pull the donor. So adding more people of our own ethnicity helps patients find a matching donor. A lot of time we feel that if uh, we don't know anybody who's in need, we don't come forward. It happens in our community a lot. When somebody is in need from our family, we do whatever we need to do. We ask friends, we ask family, but at that time, sometimes it takes very long time to find a matching donor. And sometimes we don't have that much time, because once someone gives a sample, it takes 6 weeks. So if when patient comes up and needs a transplant, if we have a donor right away, the recovery of the patient goes very well. So it becomes like, once we have a donor, the recovery goes very well. So if everybody takes this opportunity to join the donor registry without thinking whether their family member or loved one is in need or not, we
That's
can
fascinating.
find cure for many, many, many more patients,
That's
just
fascinating. That's
like we can
fascinating.
find for Caucasians.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Gayatri has explained why it is so important for we, the Desi population, to register for bone marrow, so that you have you have a unique opportunity to give the gift of life to another fellow Desi human being. And I'm sure you all have tons of questions. If you do, you can visit Be the Match website, and all the frequently asked questions are very clearly explained here. And if you have any more questions, you can, of course, contact Gayatri. And here is a place where you can contact uh, about the bone marrow and also other things. But this time, let me turn off this PowerPoint, and we will
And
have
I
some.
would like to
Okay,
give,
go ahead.
yes,
We'll have
I
some
can give,
comments.
yes, I can give my number also. If somebody has any questions, feel free to give me call back. My number is 281-780-1379. And as our guest Rita Gulati mentioned, that donating was a comparatively easier process. And after her donation, she went to India also, maybe just few days after the donation. So that is also proof that yes, donating is little time consuming, but it is safe. And with your donation, you can save someone's life.
That's it. Rita ji, maybe you can tell the listeners, as how we can inspire them to at least get online and register and get a kit and send a sample. You have nothing to really lose. As I said, on the other hand, you could be giving the gift of life to another fellow human being.
That is so true. I was hesitant, and I think I should not have been, but my daughter was so encouraging, and we just went for it. And I think there is nothing to lose. I was a little scared because of my age, also because I'm 50 plus, and there was no harm. I am as healthy as can be, more conscious about myself, and um, I think it's saving a life is the big blessing you can get by saving somebody else's life in, in the real life. We ask blessings from gods, and we pray for it, but this way, doing the nice work, nice deed, it comes into your balance.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kiran, your son was the recipient of a gift of life. Maybe you can give some, what I would say, some hope for those children or their parents who are going through the same experience which you went through.
Yes, Dr. Nick, I just wanted to talk to all the people who are waiting for a match, to be hopeful, stay positive, and touch people, talk to them before, after, because I work very actively with Gayatri. I talk to every person I come across, how important it is. We have so many millennials. It's amazing the number of people that we come across every day. I do not have any problem going up to someone who I don't know and talking to them how important it is to become a part of the registry. Why? Because I've been through it and I know what families go through it. So, and and even the families who are in the process of receiving the transplant, I would encourage them. Every single person has at least 100 200 people on their phone list, and even 50% of them become a part of the registry. How wonderful it can be. How wonderful it can be. So, and then I talk to somebody and I encourage that person to talk to somebody, and that's how we, it has a ripple effect. And that's what I want to talk to donors. Even if you are a donor, why don't you talk about how it felt to all the other people, that you come across, so I do that. And I really want to thank Rita ji. You've done an amazing experience. I wish I get to do that too pretty soon. I would consider myself very lucky, very, very lucky. Thank you, Dr. Nick.
Sure, and Kiran, as you said, if you are on the receiving side, or if one of your family members is someone who would need a bone marrow transplant, I'm sure you have 500 to 1,000 friends. So I would say get in touch with every person possible and have them registered so that they may be able to help your own family member, or maybe they may be able to help somebody else while they are being matched. Gayatri,
Yes.
final words?
Yes, I just want to show our viewers how easy it is to give the sample. It's a simple cheek swab,
Yeah, if you all
and
can
that's
mute.
all you need to do. And it comes in an envelope like that. You swab your cheeks, put it in a kit. It comes like that, put it over there, and that's all you need to do. To join the donor registry, you don't need to give blood samples. With that, we can do initial testing. If you are identified as a potential match after this testing, you will be contacted. Then we'll do some blood work and we'll do the medical evaluation. And after that, you will get a chance to donate. Everyone who joins donor registry doesn't get to donate, but everyone who joins this donor registry provide hope to the patients in need. You can click on this link that shows on the screen, or you can text CURE to 61474. That is the first step to join this donor registry.
Thank you
And
so
once
much.
you are matched, then only you get to donate. Uh, Rita G signed up 10 years ago, and last year she had a chance to donate. Uh, so we don't know who gets to donate, but definitely we all have power to give a new life to someone. Especially this is Diwali time. We all are celebrating Diwali in pandemic way. We are not doing our usual things that we are used to, but still we are doing our celebration. We are still finding a ways how we can do some kind of donation. So this could be the biggest donation that you could do in your lifetime. Sign up for the program. This is the best karma that I would say. During this Diwali time, we all think about doing the good things. This could be one of your good things that you want to do. And if you are eligible, and for the eligibility, I would like to touch few things. In our community, people think that as they grow a little older, after 35 or so, they think that they are not eligible because we tend to develop some conditions like blood pressure, thyroid, cholesterol. So with these situations, also you are eligible to get tested and you are eligible to give donation. If you are under weather, you are still eligible to give these samples because you are simply giving your saliva samples. With that, we can test immune system markers like a DNA. So it doesn't matter if you're under weather or you are taking any antibiotics, you are eligible to give those samples. And after that, if you are a match, then we'll do some more tests, and then only you get the opportunity to donate. So take that first step. I cannot insist more. We have Kiran, who is, I mean, having a great life with her son because there was somebody like Rita Gulati who donated the cells. Donors definitely resume to normal life, and the patient gets a new life from there. So yes, there's no
There's
brainer
hope.
why not to do that.
Yes. Thank you very much, Gayatri Kapoor. And we have been talking about Be the Match. We would encourage you to join the registry and hopefully give the gift of life to some other fellow human being. And here is the website where you can go and register. I want to thank Kiran and also Rita for joining this presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching a Triple N Media. I am Dr. Nik Nikam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nick. Thank you, Rita Ji. Thanks, Kiran.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm going to cut it.
Happy Diwali to everyone.
Thank you.
Happy Diwali to everyone, too.
Where is this recording?